everybody. Captain Marty here on Monday, July the 14th, and we had a good weekend. Fishing was varied. Some of it was pretty good. A lot of variety in the catches and some stuff we normally don't hear or talk a whole lot about. But we'll be back in just a moment, and I'll kind of bring you up to date on what did happen over the weekend, and we're looking forward to a good week. So stay right where you are. I'll be right back.
Fishing Ocracoke is the ultimate lifetime dream for a lot of people. Captain Ernest with Gecko Sport Fishing and the Drum Runner can help you achieve that dream to the fullest. Whether you're looking to go offshore for tuna, mahi, and billfish, or inshore for puppy drum, speckled trout, and more, Gecko Sport Fishing and the Drum Runner can go from 2 feet to 2,000 feet of water. Full day, half day, and evening trips are available. Call Captain Ernest at 252-921-0095. Gecko Sport Fishing and the Drum Runner. Make your Ocracoke fishing dream a reality.
Frisco Woods Campground, a family-owned gem for over 50 years, offers a perfect getaway on Hatteras Island. Whether you prefer tent camping, electric water sites, RV spots, or primitive camping cabins, there's something for everyone. Guests enjoy free hot showers, a refreshing pool, and breathtaking sunsets over the Pamlico Sound. Nestled in nature yet close to local attractions, Frisco Woods Campground provides a peaceful retreat with modern comforts, making it an ideal destination for outdoor enthusiasts and families alike. Book online at the FriscoWoodsCampground.com. Frisco Woods Campground, 50 years of memory making on Hatteras Island.
So the weekend for our offshore fleets out of Hatteras and Oregon Inlet, Saturday was the better of the 2 days, but both days were pretty good. Hatteras had blue marlin, sailfish, and I heard of a single white marlin. So there was a little bit of billfish activity over the weekend. And then they had, yesterday, for instance, scattered mahi or dolphin, whatever you want to call them. There weren't as many of them yesterday as there was on Saturday. Kind of a big difference, really. Blackfin tuna are very small right now, but they're delectable. And so when you throw in a billfish, or 2 or 4. The chaser down there had 4 sailfish. You throw that in, it gives you a nice, well-rounded day. And they had some boats fishing inshore, and they were working on 3 different things: triggerfish, amberjack, and some big schools of red drum on some of those wrecks. And by the way, triggerfish, in my opinion, and I've been around a while, is the best eating fish in the ocean. And if you ever get a chance to buy one or eat one in a restaurant, all they do is eat shrimp and crabs. And they really, really have a shellfish taste to them. And I don't bread them or do anything other than saute them in a little garlic butter and eat them that way. The Oregon Inlet Fleet had a banner day on Saturday with loads of yellowfin tuna and some dolphin. On Sunday, there was less dolphin and less tuna, but even so, the day was good. So we had 2 days of good meat fishing, and like Hatteras, they had some mixed billfish in the catches down there. Now, for the inshore fleet at Oregon Inlet, like Hatteras, there was a drum bite going on. These schools of drum these are the ones I'm talking about in the ocean. We're going to talk more about the ones in the backcountry here in a moment. But there's Spanish mackerel and bluefish around the inlet. But the drum bite was very, very good. So that's great to know. And again, Saturday was the better of the 2 days. But both days were, you wouldn't trade them, especially the way fishing was a week or 2 ago. Pier and surf fishing, no real standout reports, but a nice mix of stuff. Like, for instance, the Nags Head Pier had triggerfish, they had bluefish, and they had Spanish mackerel. Most everybody is doing pretty good on bluefish and Spanish mackerel on the piers. But if you can get a triggerfish or a sheephead, which that's what you're going to get this time of year, again, those are 2 of the finest eating fish you'll ever try. So maybe you should target those a little bit. Surf fishing was just a summertime mix of blues and Spanish. An occasional puppy drum. Most of the drum fishing, and the best of it, I know for a fact, is back in the Sound. We'll get to that again in a minute. But surf fishing and pier fishing, the key right now, and we harp on this a lot, is that you need to be fishing at first light or last light. First light meaning when the sky is just starting to lighten up. This is when these fish feed and don't overcast. You want to just maybe 15, 20 feet right outside the shore break is where they're all feeding at daylight. So leave the kids in bed, leave your wife or husband in bed, go down and fish for a couple hours, then go back and take them to breakfast. That's a good plan while you're on the Outer Banks. Now we'll take a little break, and I'll come back and talk to you a little bit about this really good fishing we're having back in the Sound.
What could possibly be more fun than watching a bottlenose dolphin swim and play in the water right beside you? Hop aboard Harbor Star Dolphin Tours at Wanchese Marina and witness this remarkable animal up close. The Harbor Star is a spacious 50-foot vessel with a wide, shady canopy that runs 2-hour trips multiple times a day, including a breathtaking sunset cruise. To book your tour, go online to wanchesemarina.com and click Harbor Star Dolphin Tours. See the majestic bottlenose dolphin up close with Harbor Star Dolphin Tours.
So the drum bite is on all sizes, red drum, all sizes, back in the Sound, depending on where you're going. We got some folks wading the backside of Hatteras Island. They're doing really good with a puppy drum, fishing along the shoreline there, mostly with a popping rig, because they're also catching speckled trout doing that as well. But further out, if you have a boat or you're fishing with a guide, they're catching puppies, they're catching above slot size drum, they're catching yearlings, and they're catching big drum. The nighttime bite is on. Last night was a pretty night. The squalls and stuff held off for the most part. We got guys out. That's really, really fun fishing. Of course, that's all catch and release because the season is closed on that size of fish. But like I mentioned, also speckled trout, and they do have some bluefish back there as well. I was talking, let me back up here. I was talking to a friend of mine on Sunday morning, and he had launched his boat at the Oregon Inlet Fishing Center boat ramp, and he headed south over to the Hatteras Island side of Oregon Inlet. And while I was talking to him, he was just down there by himself using a popping cork. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to ask your local tackle shop to rig you up with a popping cork and usually a jig head or a grub. And what that does is that thing bounces along off the bottom, and the cork on the surface pops. That's why they call them popping cork, and it makes it sound like a predator, and it attracts bites. But while I was talking to him before I went to church, we might have talked for 5 minutes. And during that time, he caught a keeper trout. He had me on speakerphone. He caught a keeper speckled trout, a throwback speckled trout, and 2 or 3 Taylor bluefish. So all in all, it was, just in a few minutes I was talking to him, he was pretty satisfied with that, and then I wished I was on the boat with him. But it's a good time. I also am hearing some very secretive information about north side of Roanoke Island, around there where the waders go, and that's a lot of fun, catching some speckled trout up that way as well. So keep all that in mind. This fishing on the pier and surf fishing is real simple, real easy, great for kids to do this time of year. And you don't even have to have a fishing pole. They can rent you one. They can sell you a combo for less than $50 and get you fishing, and no license required if you go on a pier. But if I could do anything, and I've done every kind of fishing there is, but if I could do anything, I'd like that wading fishing for a speckled trout. That would be my first pick this week. So if you're here visiting, ask your tackle shops how you can do that. It's simpler than you think. Go out and have some fun, catch your own seafood, and enjoy our beautiful Outer Banks. I hope you have a blessed day, and I hope you catch some fish.